Hey guys, John from FlyMikeAlpha.com, and today we're going to go ahead and show you how to brief up a jet plate for a localizer approach. A little different than briefing up an ILS approach. So if you haven't actually seen any of our videos on how to brief approaches, check out the Jeppesen ILS brief first, and the link is in the description below, and then check out this video of how we brief up the loc approach just a little bit differently. So for starters, we're going to start in the top right as we normally do. Charlotte, North Carolina, localizer, runway 18 right, page 11-4, 22nd of April, 2016. Check, make sure that's up to date with your safety pilot. If you're flying solo today, then hopefully you checked that all your pubs were up to date before you got in the airplane, that your iPad's all up to date. And then we're going to come on down here. Localizer frequency 110.15, final approach course inbound 183. And minimum at J-Hunt, 3,000 feet. That's also our final approach fix. Our minimums are going to be 1040 today. We do have DME. Airport elevation is 748. Touchdown zone elevation is 744. MSA based off the Charlotte VOR, 3,800 feet, all quadrants. Missed approach, climb to 1,200 feet, then climbing right turn to 4,000 feet. Outbound on the Charlotte, radial 250 to Stoll intersection. 13 DME from Charlotte and hold. Continue climb in the hold to 4,000 feet or as directed by ATC. Oftentimes they'll just vector you around for another approach. Our notes here, DME or radar is required. Simultaneous approaches are authorized with runway 18 center and left. The visual glide, slope indicator, and ILS glide path are not coincident. Now we're doing a loc approach today, so it doesn't really apply to us, but just note what the actual VGSI glide path is. It's probably 2.8 degrees, and we'll check in the AFD or the chart supplement to let us know. Coming down to our plan view, now this is where it gets a little different with the localizer. We're going to want to make sure we have these fixes and they're either put into our flight plan or our FMS or something so that we can really easily identify them. We could just identify them off DME, but it's a lot easier if they're actually programmed into your flight management system or Garmin, 530, 650, G1000, whatever it is you might be flying with. So verify all these fixes are in there and verify the altitudes are correct at the fixes. Plates change, so you want to make sure that your database doesn't have like 3,000 feet at EMERS. Otherwise, if you're at 3,000 feet at EMERS, you'll probably get a call from ATC. So coming on down here, we've verified all our fixes. Next thing to do is talk about how are we getting our DME. Well, our DME is paired with the localizer. Perfect. That makes life easy. It's not coming from the VOR. Even though there is DME on the VOR, it's coming from the localizer. Great. So that way we don't have to tune up two frequencies in our nav radios. Next thing is going to be talking about our timing. This is a loc approach. We're using DME to identify our missed approach point, but we're going to back that up with timing in case our DME gets a little wonky during the approach. So our timing, passing J-Hunt, we're going to start our clocks, figure 140 knots, and we will go ahead and look for 2 minutes 57 seconds on the clock. Next is our lighting. We have higher lighting on this runway, ALSIF 2 approach lights with a PAPI on the right, and our minimums 1040 with Silov. We're going to identify Silov with DME. DME is required, and we have it. And our RVR we're looking for is 2,400 feet or a half mile viz. Next thing to talk about is going to be our taxiway. Next thing to talk about here is getting on and off the runway. Well, landing runway 18 right, which is 9,000 feet long. We'll expect to exit off the left, and we'll probably take Whiskey 4 to Sierra, crossing runway 18 center, and say we're parking down here. So we're going to cross runway 18 center, pass hotspot 2. We'll stay alert in that area, make a right turn, come on down Echo, cross runway 5, and then hook up with Alpha and into the ramp. So we want to brief our expected taxi route. Not that we're guaranteed to get that, but just have an idea of where we're going and how long our runway is, any hot spots or runway crossings, and any construction if you happen to know about it, wherever it might be on the airport. That would conclude your briefing. Then you would say, all right, do you have any questions? We'll go ahead and run through that one more time at normal speed here. So, Charlotte, North Carolina, localizer runway 18 right approach. Page 11-4, 22nd April 2016. Checks. Localizer frequency 110.15. Final approach course inbound 183. Minimum at J-Hunt 3,000 feet. Minima for today 1040 since we have DME. Airport elevation 748. Touchdown zone elevation 744. MSA based off the Charlotte VOR 3,800 feet all quadrants. Missed approach instructions: climb to 1,200 feet, then climbing right turn to 4,000 feet. Outbound on the Charlotte radial 250 to Stull intersection 13 DME from Charlotte and hold. Continue the climb in the hole to 4,000 feet or as assigned by ATC. DME or radar is required. Simultaneous approaches are in use, and the VGSI and ILS glide path are not coincident in case we were receiving that glide path. All our fixes check, Redkey, Nella, Emers, J-Hunt, Silov are all in our database, and we have 7,006, 5, 4, 3, 1280, and 1040 as our MDA set. We'll start our clocks at J-Hunt, 140 knots, and 257 on the clock is what we're looking for. LSIP 2 lights, Pappy on the right, and high roll runway lighting. 1040 on the MDA with DME, RVR 2400 or half mile viz is what we'll need. We do have a step down fix after J-Hunt, and it is going to be Silov. It's in the database, so we like to brief that step down fix. Our VDP is 2.1 DME, so if we don't see the runway then, we'll consider going missed. Expecting to land on runway 18 right. It's 9,000 feet long, and we'll expect a left turn off. Whiskey 4, Sierra, crossing runway 18 center, passing hotspot 2. Keep an eye out. Right turn, down Echo, crossing runway 5, hook up with Alpha, and Alpha into the ramp. Any questions? Then you'll talk about it with your safety pilot. Make sure you're both on the same page. If you both agree, life's good. So, hopefully you guys found that helpful of how to brief up a plate. That's how I like to do it. If you have any other different ways of doing it, different ideas, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. We'll talk about it. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe to our channel to keep up with all our latest videos. Check out our Patreon page. The link's in the description below. We greatly appreciate all your support. Remember, if you can't fly every day, then fly at MikeAlpha.com. We'll see y'all next time.